Okay, Jordan, now we're gonna tackle a classic.
Let's do it. We've got a Cote de Boeuf. We've had this out of the fridge for like a good hour. The first thing that I'm gonna do is just salt it and get it really nicely coated on all sides.
This thing's massive.
We're gonna serve it with a salsa, and I think what's nice is if you kind of get some of the flavor of the fact that we're cooking with fire into the dish. Obviously we're gonna cook the steak in there, but also for the salsa, what we're gonna do is just like burn all of the things that we're cooking with. So we're gonna get the skin real good and charred, and then we're gonna take that skin off. And what we'll have underneath is really like sweet, smoky, really delicious pepper. Same thing with the tomatoes and the chili. So take the end off, run your knife through the length of the pepper and open it up like that. Take out the seeds like that, just kind of flatten them out. Skin side up onto our pan and press them down. Then we're gonna do the exact same thing with a red chili. So this is a little bit spicy, and you can kind of tailor this to your taste. Same thing with tomatoes, we don't need to do anything with those, we're just gonna put them on. And now that can go into the oven. While our peppers and tomatoes are in the oven, we can get the rest of the salsa ready. I'm gonna grab a red onion. We just start by kind of finely dicing. And if it's not as fine as you'd like it to, you can just run your knife through it. We don't need to be super delicate. Pop it in a bowl, a little bit of sherry vinegar, and then also some lemon juice. We're just gonna take out a load of that bite, a load of that heat, and it's just gonna like temper it up. A little stir. I've got some fresh coriander here. Again, we'll just like start nice and fine. Take your time with it and just kind of work your way up. And put that in there as well. I'm gonna also add smoked paprika. And this is nice because it's just kind of enhancing what we're doing with the peppers and the tomatoes. And the last thing I'm gonna do is add a little clove garlic. So we can just crush that so that the skin comes off nice. Then I'm gonna finely slice it. Grab a pinch of your coarse salt, put it on there like that. And you just run the blade back and forward, and you can hear that salt grinding the garlic down. And what you end up with is like a nice puree of garlic. And now I think we can pull these guys out.
How do you know if you've gone too far?
But don't cook them for so long that everything else underneath is just evaporating.
Got it.
You still want some like good, juicy, fleshy kind of meat on the peppers. Gonna be super easy to peel. That skin is just gonna lift off.
Yeah. So while you're peeling this, like what would be some of the benefits of cooking a steak in a pizza oven?
The cool thing about this oven is that we can get it like ripping hot.
Okay.
And that's gonna allow us to like build a really, really good, like caramelized, deep golden crust really easily. For the tomatoes, take them off the stalk and we can kind of chop those up pretty much as they are. You don't need to be neat with this, but you do want to try and get it fairly fine. I like a bit of texture, I like it to stay a little bit chunky, I want to keep like a bit of the feel of what we're cooking. So now the last thing to do is just to add a little bit of olive oil. Give this a good mix and just make sure that all those flavors are like really well kind of combined together, evenly distributed, and then leave this to sit for 10-15 minutes while we cook the steak. All the flavors will get to know each other and it will just become a really delicious thing.
So walk me through the cooking process of the steak.
First thing that I'm gonna do is get this back in the oven, get it real hot, and that's gonna allow us to build that crust that we've been talking about really easily, really quickly.
Perfect.
So you wanna start with a really good dry piece of meat. And this now is ready to go. You can go with a little bit more salt.
It's going back with more salt.
Yeah.
What's your ideal temp?
You don't need to worry too much about like exactly what temperature the plate is, precisely what temperature the oven is, as long as it's hot and as long as you're kind of in control looking at what's happening, that's fine. So I'm gonna grab the steak and start by just like putting this on there. So you can see that we've got just a little coating of fat there, so now I can put this down, give it a press, and then I'm gonna put it straight into here.
Okay.
With a Cote de Boeuf, I'm going for 45 degrees Celsius, that's gonna be pretty rare. If you wanted it like medium rare, you take it a couple of degrees warmer. In each case, you're gonna have a lot of carryover cooking time. We've got quite a big piece of meat here. We're cooking it at a really high temperature. Carryover is basically the continuation of that process once you've taken the thing out of the oven. If this steak is real hot and I'm pulling it out of a real hot oven, that heat that's in the outside of the steak is gonna continue to work inwards even once I've taken it out. We might turn it just to hit the other edges, but it should cook very evenly by itself. So if we have a look at that, I mean, you can see that really quickly.
My God, yeah.
We've started to build up a really, really nice crust on there.
Wow.
Start using your thermometer now.
Okay.
The best £10 you will ever spend is to buy a little meat thermometer. That's just going to take all of the guesswork out of it. And you want to go like right into the thickest part. So we're in no danger here. We can keep cooking this guy for a little while. And just keep adjusting, keep working with your oven.
Yeah.
This is back in, the crust is kind of nearly where we want it.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm gonna turn the flame down and just like let that carry through and cook the middle of the steak. And we've still got the flame coming over the top. And now we're just gonna let the steak kind of hang out, do its thing, and cook through until we kind of reach that internal temperature that we're looking for.
It's been about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we're gonna do one more check.
I mean, you were bang
And
on.
that's just like pretty much exactly where we want it.
Yeah.
44.5 degrees. And I know that by the time that that's like rested, it's gonna come to exactly where we want it.
So now that this is out, what are we looking for? We've got to rest it.
Yeah, really, really, really important is to rest this.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take it off here. And you can see
Oh my God.
that that's just a really beautiful thing. And a rough guide for resting is that you can probably rest this for about the same amount of time that you cook it for. The other thing that I'm gonna do is take a little bit of this fat and just pour it on top of the steak. It's just gonna keep it all nice and moist and juicy. And just leave that to hang out. I'm gonna grab the salsa and see all of these resting juices that are coming out of the steak. We're not wasting those.
Okay.
I'm gonna pour those straight into the bowl. So, wow, look at that. Super, super good. And now it's time to carve.
Ready.
So we're gonna take the bone out first. That's pretty simple. We're just gonna kind of come along like that, and you wanna go pretty close to the bone so that you can just take that out. I'm gonna start here. I want like kind of quite thick slices, you know. And you can see that what we've got in here, super juicy, super kind of tender, moist, nice piece of steak. I think a nice way to do this is to take some of the salsa, and then we're just gonna put a little bit straight down on the plate, like this. Kind of a few spoons like that, and just spread those out. I'm gonna take this, and then I'm just gonna put it right on top of the salsa like that. And then you just wanna go in, open it up a little bit, and then you can take a little bit of salt and go over the top. And I think it's always quite nice to present it with the bones, if you wanna just like tuck that in.
It looks great. I think the only thing left is for me to taste it.
I think you should.
I mean, you can taste it too, but I mean,
It's all yours.
this is incredible. I want to put like
Yeah.
all of this on.
Load it up.
The flavor depth on this is gonna drip everywhere. Oh, this is a mess. Oh my God. We're getting paid to do this. This is crazy.
This is the best job in the world.
I know. Oh my God. Bye everyone.